Hi guys, it's Louise. It feels like it's been ages since I sat down to film, and I think it has. It's been like, I want to say like a year maybe, or maybe a bit less than a year, but it's been around about that long anyway, so I think I'm coming back to off the tube. Emphasis on the think because I'm still not 100% sure, but this whole quarantine situation thing means I've got a lot more free time now. I'll get more into what my plans and stuff are in my camp prep video, which I'll be posting sometime in the next week or so. But today I'm going to be talking about a book that I was sent to review. I don't normally do book reviews anymore because I'm not a booktube channel really anymore. But when I was sent this review request, it was for a book about writing. It's not sort of telling you how to write, but it's a sort of exercise book. And this is Right Outside the Box by Joseph Griffin. Joseph was kind enough to send me a copy of this book free of charge. Obviously, they're my own opinions. I'm not being paid to review this. And also, I don't really want to ramble too much, so I'm going to stay straight to the point, hopefully. But basically, this book is a book full of different little exercises. Some of them are to do with writing directly, some of them are to do with the sort of miscellaneous things. What I'm going to do is show you a couple of little sample pages so that you can get an idea of what the book is like, and then I'm going to go into what I liked about it and what I thought could be improved. So one of the pages I really like in the miscellaneous category is My Awesome Writing Playlist. So it's got a picture of a phone and it's got room for 6 different songs that you can put on there to do with your project. Or maybe they're just 6 songs that always get you in the mood for writing. If you're like me and music is something that's really integral to your writing process, then this would be really helpful. And just something fun, because I feel like you could probably colour it in and stuff, and it would just be a bit of creativity. I also like ones that make you look into how you became a writer and what sort of formed you as a writer. And one of the ones that could be to do with this is one that says, the book that made me want to become a writer. And I'm assuming that you would just write what the book was, why that made you want to become a writer, and how it sort of guided you through your writing journey. I haven't filled any of these pages in yet because I wanted to show you like blank copies, but I think when I finish this video I'm going to get straight into that one, because that one, it's sort of made me think already about some of the books on my shelf that always make me want to get back into writing when I drop off a little bit. There are a couple of prompt-based pages in this, so it'll give you a little prompt and then you can write on the page your response to the prompt. So for example, there's a page that says, a girl finds a pair of spectacles that has the power to gorgonise, i.e. petrify anyone. So what you would do is you would read the prompt, and then on the rest of the page you can do anything you want really. It doesn't have to be just writing. You could do some little doodles, you could just do anything to sort of get your creativity flowing. I'm not saying that you're going to maybe use this in a story, but it's just if you want something to get you writing, I think it'll be really helpful, because sometimes I just want to write. I don't necessarily have a big project going on, but I want something to get me kick-started, and this is the sort of thing that would really help with that. So those are a couple of samples of the different types of pages in here. Now I'm going to get into what I liked and what I didn't like. I've wrote myself a little list so I didn't forget what I was trying to say, but there are quite a few good things I really liked, especially the quirky voice that Joseph includes in this. So sometimes, see if I can find one, there'll be little asterisks on the pages with a little comment, and it'll be really quirky, sort of sarcastic comment. Like on the My Beta Readers list, where you would put in your beta readers for your project, at the bottom it says, "What do you mean it's not good? Change the ending? Are you crazy?" And stuff like that. It made me have a little chuckle while I was reading through it. So I definitely loved that, and it made it a little bit different from everything else that's on the market. Another thing I like is that you get a lot of writing advice generally as on AuthorTube and on the internet, and quite a few of the pages in this put it into actionable steps, or at least a space in which you can kind of note down your responses to those pieces of advice and think about how you want to use them in your own stories, such as strengths and weaknesses. So on this page we've got my protagonist is good at, and then down here we've got my protagonist sucks at. So it really helps you to get the story out of your head onto the paper, and it's not necessarily something that you couldn't do yourself, but it's nice to have it there, sort of thing. And the other thing that I really liked about this, and it's probably one of the things that I like the most about this book, is that it pushes you to go outside of your writing comfort zone. So I'm predominantly a YA fantasy writer, but when I was going into this, if I wanted to fill in every page, I'd have to try a variety of different genres. I think there's some horror pages, there's some contemporary pages, and lots of these are the prompts, but there are also other pages related to those genres. So basically it's pushing you to try something new, and maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't, but it's good to have the chance to try it. And even just from university and stuff like that, I have found that when you push yourself out of your comfort zone when you're doing creative work, it can have some really unexpectedly good results. Like, I never thought I would write a script, but now in my 3rd year I'm writing a TV show sort of thing. So always push yourself, and I think this would really help with that. Now moving on to the things that I would improve about this, and a lot of them are things that I think could be quite easily fixed, but they did sort of take away from my experience of the book a little bit. The first is that some pages in this, it depends whether you've got a protagonist in mind, because some of the pages in this, they say things like "my protagonist sucks at." And to do those pages, you need to have a character or a project already in mind. So if you don't have those in mind already, I don't know if this would be too helpful, at least the pages that work with that sort of thing. With the prompt pages and everything, it would be great for people that don't have a project, but I think it would be helpful to have maybe 2 separate sections to the book, or maybe 2 separate books, one for people that don't have a project and one for people that are already working on something. Another thing is that I do like the minimalistic style of this book. I like that you've got a lot of space to write, but I feel like there could be a little bit more guidance on some of the pages. For example, this page, it says logophobia, noun, fear of words. So it's telling you the definition of this word, but it doesn't really tell you what to do with it. I suppose you could use it as a prompt, but again, I feel like it could come with a little bit more guidance for people that are using the book. I mean, that might just be my personal preference, but that's the way that I felt when I was reading it. And the final thing that I would say could be improved about the book, and again, this is a personal preference thing, but I feel like there are some pages that just really didn't need to be in there, and they kind of detracted from my overall experience of using the book. For example, there is this page with a maze on it, and it says, "Some days are better than others, but the hardest part is always to get to my computer," and it's a sort of maze that you can fill in to get the person to the computer. I mean, if you want a little bit of a distraction, just something to sort of mindlessly do, then I guess it could be cool, but I don't see the point of having it in here. I would much rather that was a prompt page or something that you can actually work with to better your craft. But again, that's personal preference. You might like that sort of thing, but for me, it did take away from the experience. So overall, what I would generally say is that I do really like this book. It had some things I took away from it, but for the most part, I would find it quite helpful, especially in pushing you outside of your comfort zone. I think it's probably better aimed towards newbie writers than experienced writers, because some of the things in here are very basic. But equally, I feel like I've been a writer for at least 5 years now and I still found it useful. So yeah, that was my review of this. I really hope you found it helpful, and thanks again to Joseph for sending me a copy. I will be back sometime in the next week with my Camp NaNoWriMo prep vlog. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you then. Bye.